at is about the secret of success. And specifically, it's from this book from like 1908 by William Walker Atkinson.
Right.
So kind of a blast from the past.
Yeah.
And, it's always interesting to get these perspectives from, over a century ago on this idea of success.
It really is. And what struck me right off the bat is that Atkinson wasn't just, another one of these kind of self-help gurus writing a book.
Right.
He was super involved in the New Thought movement, and he structured this book as like a 9-lesson course.
Oh, wow.
So it was like a whole program.
So instead of giving you 5 easy steps to success.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, you're going to have to put in some work here.
You're going to have to work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that, it's less about tactics and more about like the mindset, which I find really fascinating.
Yeah, and that's what really struck me, his emphasis on individuality. He argues that it's like the cornerstone of success.
Interesting.
And he even, uses that analogy of, most people are like sheep just blindly following the bellwether,
Oh, wow.
and missing out on their own unique potential.
That's such a, a vivid image. It really kind of makes you think,
Yeah.
like, how often are we just kind of, going with the flow and not really carving our own path?
Totally. And to kind of break free from that, he distinguishes between the I and the me.
Okay.
So the I being our true self,
Okay.
and the me being the personality we kind of present to the world,
Right.
almost like a mask.
So like, that mask might be us, conforming to societal expectations.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, think about all the roles we play in life.
Right.
We're one person with our family,
Right.
another person at work,
At work, yeah.
and so on and so forth.
Right.
And he's saying that to really succeed, we got to kind of move beyond those masks and tap into that authentic self.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how much of our potential are we leaving on the table because we're afraid to show our true colors?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of something we often see in, those who we consider successful.
Cool.
A strong sense of spiritedness.
Oh, interesting.
This is another key concept for Atkinson.
Okay.
And he argues that it's not just some like ethereal quality, but like a primal force, a kind of inner strength that commands respect.
When I read that, I thought of that saying like, still waters run deep.
Oh, I like that.
It's not always the loudest or the most, aggressive person in the room that has the most influence.
Right.
Right.
It's something else.
Yeah, it's like this deeper thing.
Yeah, and Atkinson gives this fascinating example from the animal kingdom.
Okay.
He observes how like baboons or lions establish a hierarchy without necessarily fighting.
So it's not about brute force.
Yeah.
But like you were saying,
Right.
it's something deeper.
It's like this inner knowing. It's more about conviction.
Yeah.
An unshakable inner resolve.
Got it.
He gives this bold example of Bishop Hugo of Lincoln
Okay.
standing up to King Richard the Lionheart not once,
Oh, wow.
but twice.
That must have taken some guts.
Talk about courage, right?
Yeah. What was it about Bishop Hugo that allowed him to stand up to, someone like Richard?
It seems like his weapon was pure spiritedness.
Wow.
He met Richard's anger with this unwavering confidence, and the king, used to getting his way,
Of course.
was taken aback and eventually yielded.
Ah, that's wild.
And it just highlights how this inner strength can be more powerful than outward aggression.
It really makes you realize how much we can accomplish when we really, tap into that and stand by our convictions.
For sure, and that leads us to another intriguing concept.
Okay.
Latent powers. Atkinson suggests that we all possess these hidden reserves of energy and ability.
Like untapped potential.
Absolute, like a superpower just waiting to be unlocked.
I love that. Okay, so how do we tap into that?
Well, he points to desire,
Okay,
earnestness, and enthusiasm as the key.
got it.
He even compares accessing these latent powers to a trolley pole,
Okay.
connecting to a live wire of power.
Oh.
The power's always there. We just need to make the connection.
So it's not just about like casually wanting something.
Yeah.
It's like this burning desire.
You've got to be like, you want it hard enough.
You want it hard enough.
He uses that phrase a lot.
I like that.
And it resonates with what we see in high achievers.
Yeah.
They're not just going through the motions.
Yeah.
They have this deep passion and hunger to achieve their goals.
This is making me think about times when I've surprised myself
Yeah,
with what I was able to do when I was really motivated.
totally.
It's like unlocking a hidden gear.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what Atkinson's getting at.
Okay.
We all have these hidden gears, these higher levels of mental power and focus
that we haven't even accessed yet.
that we haven't even tapped into.
So we might be operating in like first gear,
Yeah.
but we've got this whole engine under the hood.
Exactly. It makes you think, like, what could we achieve if we could consistently tap into those higher gears?
That's a good question, and it brings up another point from the book,
Okay.
the power of desire,
Oh, yes.
which seems to go against traditional teaching about suppressing desire, right?
It does. It's a bit of a paradox.
Yeah.
But instead of seeing desire as the enemy,
Okay.
Atkinson argues that it can be this incredibly powerful force if harnessed correctly.
Okay.
He compares it to fire,
Yeah.
which can be, destructive if it's uncontrolled,
Right.
but incredibly useful when mastered.
So we've got to become like fire tamers of our own desire.
Exactly.
But how do we even do that?
Well, he offers a method for what he calls desire creation.
Oh, wow.
It starts with forming these vivid mental images of what we want,
Okay.
really focusing our attention on them.
Got it.
And then cultivating this burning, demanding desire for it.
Interesting. So it's a very deliberate approach
Very much so.
to directing our desires towards our goals.
Mm.
What are some of the specifics he gives for that?
Well, he says there's like a 3-step process you have to go through.
Okay.
The first step is to form like a clear mental image
Okay.
of what you want,
Okay.
almost like painting a picture in your mind.
Got it.
And then you focus your attention on that image
Okay.
repeatedly,
Okay.
really imprinting it on your consciousness.
Okay.
And then you cultivate this burning desire for it.
Got it. So it sounds a lot like what we hear today
Yeah.
with like, visualization techniques and
Yeah.
the law of attraction.
Absolutely.
Would you say that Atkinson was ahead of his time in exploring these ideas?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He saw this connection between our thoughts and desires
Okay.
and the outcomes we experience back in the early 1900s.
Wow. So he was really onto something.
And what I find fascinating is how he uses scientific examples
Oh, really?
to illustrate this concept,
Right.
even drawing from atomic and molecular theory.
Wait, so he's connecting success principles
Yeah.
to atoms and molecules.
He talks about how even at the atomic level,
Okay.
there are forces of attraction and repulsion
Interesting.
that determine how things interact.
Okay.
He even quotes this biologist named Ernst Haeckel,
Oh, okay.
who suggested that even atoms must experience something akin to desire and will
Oh.
to form bonds.
So he's like drawing a parallel between like the laws of nature
Yeah.
and the principles of success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful idea.
Yeah.
Just as atoms are drawn to other atoms with similar properties,
Okay.
our thoughts and desires
Mm-hmm.
send out these vibrations that attract
Okay.
corresponding circumstances and opportunities.
Wow. It's like that link between the physical and the mental.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle but powerful connection.
And it makes you think like if we're sending out those vibrations, right?
Yeah.
Are we attracting things
Yeah.
into our lives without even realizing it?
I think so. And this is where things get a little daunting.
Okay.
Because Atkinson emphasizes that just as we attract what we want,
Mm-hmm.
we can also attract what we fear
True fear.
through what he calls fear thought.
Fear thought.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's not a pleasant concept.
So it's like our fears have the power to become self-fulfilling prophecies.
Exactly.
Like we're manifesting them.
Another writer from that time, Horace Fletcher,
Okay.
he used this term fear thought
Okay.
to distinguish it from prudent forethought.
Okay.
He argued that fear thought
Yeah.
is the root cause of worry and anxiety.
Right.
And it can be incredibly debilitating.
Wow. Okay. So how do we combat that?
Well, you don't just ignore it.
Okay.
Atkinson says that the best way to overcome fear thought
Okay.
is to replace it
Okay.
with its opposite.
So like positive thoughts.
Thoughts of courage, confidence,
Yeah.
the belief in our ability to overcome obstacles.
Got it.
He emphasizes using affirmations
Oh, okay.
like I can and I will,
Okay.
reminding ourselves to tap into that inner power.
So we're shifting our mindset
Yeah, we're shifting our focus.
from, fear to a more empowering, state of mind.
Exactly. And this leads us to what I think is one of the most fascinating aspects
Okay.
of Atkinson's framework.
Okay.
This idea of personal magnetism and attractive personality.
This is where it all comes together.
It's like the culmination of everything we've talked about so far.
And he stresses, that it's not about being fake or manipulative.
No.
It's about authenticity.
Yeah, genuine self-expression.
That draws people in.
Right.
Okay, so what are some of those qualities he highlights?
Well, cheerfulness,
Okay.
is a big one.
It's like smile and the world smiles with you.
Exactly. He even points to Japanese culture,
Oh, wow.
where, maintaining a cheerful exterior,
Okay.
even in challenging times, is super important.
I like that. So it's not always easy to do, but
No, it's not.
it can have a big impact.
It can.
What else does he mention?
He also emphasizes self-respect
Okay.
and how it manifests in our posture, our voice, how we carry ourselves.
Okay.
He even suggests keeping our heads held high
Oh, wow.
as a way to project confidence and self-assurance.
So it's not about faking confidence.
Well,
It's about cultivating that.
Cultivating that inner strength.
Yeah.
And along with self-respect,
Okay.
taking a genuine interest in others.
Oh, that's huge.
He shares this funny anecdote
I love anecdotes.
about Thomas Carlyle,
Okay.
who was notoriously grumpy,
Okay.
but was completely disarmed by a visitor
Okay.
who just listened intently to him talk for hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so the power of
The
listener.
power of listening. What else?
Self-control
Okay.
is huge, especially managing our emotions.
Got it.
He sees anger as a weakness and gives us fascinating insight about controlling our voice as a key to managing our temper.
So if we calm our voice, we can calm our emotions.
Exactly. It's like our voice can act as an anchor,
Oh.
keeping us grounded,
Got it.
even in challenging situations.
I like that.
He also shares the story about Nathan Shepard,
Okay.
a famous public speaker who overcame a serious speech impediment
Oh, wow.
through sheer willpower and perseverance.
Wow. Those real life examples are always so powerful.
They are.
They really bring those principles to life
They do.
and show us what's possible.
Exactly.
And I think it's important to remember
Yeah.
that while, we're talking about this attractive personality,
Mhm.
it's always about being authentic.
Yeah. It's about expressing our true selves.
Not putting on a show.
Not a contrived persona.
It's amazing how these principles that he wrote, over a century ago still resonate today.
It is.
It's like the fundamentals of success.
Yeah.
Like that inner drive and authenticity and, personal magnetism are
Right.
kind of timeless.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, he wrote this in a very different time,
totally.
but yet these ideas feel so incredibly relevant.
It makes you think like, what is it about these principles that make them endure?
I think they speak to something fundamental within us.
Okay.
This deep-seated desire
Okay.
to express ourselves, to overcome challenges, to make a meaningful contribution
Yeah.
to the world.
Right.
Atkinson taps into that human yearning for growth and fulfillment.
Yeah, and it's not about achieving some, external measure of success.
Right.
It's about cultivating these inner qualities.
It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
Not just for our own benefit,
Right.
but for the benefit of those around us.
Exactly. And, he doesn't just leave us with these abstract concepts.
Right.
He emphasizes that action is crucial.
Absolutely.
He says, and I'm paraphrasing here,
Yeah.
don't wait for something to turn up.
Right.
Go out and turn something up.
Yes. I love that quote.
It's a call to action. It's like we can have all the desire and potential in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but without action, it's all just a dream.
We got to take that first step.
Yeah. And there's another point he makes that I think is really insightful.
Okay.
He encourages us to just focus on the step right in front of us,
Yeah.
to do our best in this moment,
Right.
trusting that the path will unfold as we go.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly. And he takes it a step further.
Yeah.
It's not just about taking that first step,
Right.
but having that clear vision of where we want to go
That's right.
and the determination to keep moving forward,
Absolutely.
even when we face setbacks.
And remembering that there's a source of strength within each of us.
That I am consciousness
Exactly.
that can empower us to achieve anything.
And he pairs that with the affirmation, I can and I will,
Yes.
which is such a powerful declaration of
personal
power.
So it sounds like, Atkinson's secret to success. It's not a quick fix.
No.
It's an ongoing journey.
It's the self-discovery and development.
It's about aligning our inner world with our outer actions.
Yes.
And becoming the best version of ourselves.
And, at its core,
Yeah.
maybe that's the true secret
Maybe it is.
to a fulfilling and successful life.